Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. So, I know you weren't expecting this live stream to come up, but we have a 2-hour delay today. My friends and I were already kind of having a conversation when we got the text message from school that there would be a 2-hour delay. And we are all confused because the weather really isn't that bad. There's some snow on the ground, but like it wasn't even cold enough to like stick to the sidewalks. Um, so we're just a little confused this morning, but that's okay. Cool gamer, hello, welcome in. So I figured I was all ready to go because normally in theory I'm on a bus right now. Our Thursdays right now are Starbase. And so I was supposed to be going to Starbase, but they ended up postponing today's until the end of the month. So the gal that was covering my bus shift goes, I'll just do it. I've got everything in place. Don't worry about it. All right, cool. So I kind of just took my time getting up this morning, getting around. The only thing I have left to do is put on tennis shoes and socks. So I'm pretty much ready to walk out the door. So then for school to start at 8, I would be walking out the door. So I'm ready to go. Then we get the text, there's a 2-hour delay, which means school will start at 10 as opposed to 8. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. What am I going to do? Well, let's just do a live stream real quick. So I was supposed to do a live stream on Monday because there was no school, but I was just feeling really bad. Like there was some sort of cold, like cough thing going around. And some of it, I think, is the insanity of that's called weather, because it's been warm, then it's been cold, then it's been warm, then it's been cold, then it's been, hey, it's summer, let's throw on shorts and grill outside. And then it's here's snow and a 2-hour delay. So that's how the last 3 weeks have been around here. So, and then Monday we had something pop up. Sam had an MS episode Sunday night, so he was home on Monday. And then we had some personal things kind of come up on Monday as well. So I just was like, you know what? I'm canceling it and we will make it up later. So we are here. We are 2-hour delaying this morning. My friends and I were having this conversation this morning, and this is going to make me sound old, though, because that's just what it is. Back in my day, back when I was a kid, we didn't have cell phones to know the school is out. There were no phone calls from the school, that kind of thing. You sat in front of the TV. You got dressed and ready for school, and you sat there and you watched. We have our banners so we can have scroll. This one's just one that's in my banners that I haven't deleted. So this would be the news station, and I am the person that is giving the news or weather or whatever's happening. And down below, the person was this ticker, and across it would be schools, and it would just run across. And and depending on the news station, either it was by school district or it was alphabetical order. None of them were the same. So if you missed it, if you blinked, you had to start all over. And you're just going, until you got a phone call from one of your friends. There's no school today! And you're going, yes, I don't have to sit in front of the TV and wait anymore. That was being a kid in the 90s. So, kids today have it way easy. We have it way easy now. We just wait for a text message or an email. So, I am I am just, I don't know. The weather isn't that bad. It's not. It's really not that bad. Hillsboro, where I live, has school. They have 3 districts to cover, not including, well, about three towns to cover. And there's the red grader again. They have 3 towns: Hillsboro, Lehigh, Burns, Hillsboro, Lehigh, Durham, and they're having school. We have 2. I don't know if maybe we have more country kids. I just don't know. I'm not quite sure. But whatever the reason is, we have a 2-hour delay. So and it's so insane that we have a weather delay, because next week is spring break. And like typically spring break is synonymous with let's play outside, let's run around, let's get out the wiggles, jiggles, get the wiggles out so that we can focus and finish out the school year. I don't know if that's gonna happen, because it's just the weather. Yeah, somebody just went down the road in front of us at like 30 miles an hour. I think it's fine. But here's the thing, on the flip side of that, I do not want to be the person in charge making those decisions. Why? Because no matter what decision you make, it's wrong. Here I am going, I don't understand, the roads are fine, da da da. And on the flip side, you have a parent somewhere going, oh, thank goodness, I was kind of concerned because maybe their road is really slick. You never know. There's always 2 sides to every coin, 2 sides to every story. So, always 2 sides to the story. I think that's a good moral for that one. Well, also, today's my last day at work before spring break, because I took tomorrow off. April and May are really busy. We start school mid-August, and we get out towards the middle to end of May. And so coming up, we've got all kinds of the different state assessments, reading assessments, math assessments, science assessments, all that kind of stuff coming up. That's all in April. Like, I don't think there's a week in April when there's not testing going on of some kind. And so it's really not a good idea for me to be gone in April. Then in May starts all the fun stuff, like field trips and field days and all that kind of stuff. And really, all the state assessments are done. You kind of get to do fun stuff. I don't want to miss any of that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take off the Friday before spring break. Starbase is over, which now it's not. But when I did it, I'm like, Starbase will be over. I'll be able to have 10 days for spring break, 10 days to relax, read a book, do whatever I want. Okay. So Sam pops up with a, hey, you want to get away for the weekend? And I'm like, what are you looking at? He's like, so don't look at my phone, just answer the question. So we're going to be driving into Missouri tomorrow. It's typically about a 3-hour drive, and I think the roads are going to be fine. I think they predicted. Here's the thing with weather, and this is something we were talking about yesterday. A 2-mile shift in either direction, and your weather changes. They could predict we're going to get 12 inches of snow and 4 inches of ice and da 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 da. So here comes a storm, and the storm moves 3 miles. Chunk. You get nothing. School's been closed for absolutely no reason. Everything. So here's the flip side of that. Again, 2 sides to every story. Predicting, it's not going to be that bad. We may get a dusting. Make sure to wear a coat. It's going to be a little cold. The weather shifts a few miles. It dumps on you. They end up having to cancel school. They have to cancel basketball tournaments. You name it, and it happens. Good morning, Surfer Girl. Welcome in. So it's, again, and here comes the road grader again. Walking with the Woods. Hey, Nick. Welcome in. So that's why I ended up choosing to take tomorrow off. Then, like, the next day, they're like, school picture day is March 11th. And I'm like, really? Hey, cool, I'm not any pictures. So yesterday, there was an email sent out around noon that due to potential incoming weather, because the photographer comes out of Wichita, so an hour south of us, school picture day has been moved to Monday, March 28th. I no longer get out of school picture day. Yay me. So Monday the 28th is school picture day. Tuesday the 29th is makeup day for Starbase today. Then we get into the first full week of April the following week. Start state assessments. Christine says they are saying 2 to 4 inches of snow here in Northwest Arkansas. Well, I hope that you stay safe. Nick, tell me from across the pond, because if you guys didn't know, Walking with the Woods is one of my UK friends. Do you guys have mandatory school assessments that you have to take in certain grade levels? Like for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade here, they have to take an assessment on reading and math every year in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Curious. So Sam's like, so what are you going to do with your morning? And I said, well, I'm going to, I ate some breakfast, and I'm going to do a couple of things. I was going to film a video, but I couldn't really articulate my thoughts well. You guys know you guys see me in the live stream. I can't articulate thoughts well sometimes. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I may end up taking the tripod with me this weekend and do some filming from, there while over the weekend. And then I lost my thought. Again, I don't think so. We have normal test exams, but they don't really mean anything. At 15, 16 years, we have the GCSE. What's the GCSEs? Yeah, they have, and the assessments, I know I don't know if they do anymore, but the assessments here are get you either more or less federal income for the school from the government. So we leave school at 16 here unless you stay on for college and then university. Okay, 16 is like a sophomore in high school. Yeah. Here you go to school until you're 18. And then college or military or trade school. Christine says if you are going to Branson, the Disney store is still open there. No, we are not going to Branson. We are going to, hold on. Excelsior Springs, Missouri. It's a really small town, but we're going to a bed and breakfast there. So I'm pretty I'm pretty excited about that. It's so weird that you're like, so we have junior school from 5 to 10 years, senior or secondary school from 11 to 16, but after that it's not mandatory. Oh yeah, it's mandatory here until you're 18. Unless you get your drop out and get your GED, but a lot of places won't hire with a GED. That's crazy. Okay, so since we're on the topic of school, and since it's school delay, we'll talk school today. Here, kindergarten is you go into kindergarten at 5. Yeah, Sam did all of the planning, and I'll give a little bit of an overview about that in a second. And of course, there'll be videos. You go into kindergarten at 5. Then we can drive and drink from 18, not at the same time. Well, welcome to Texas because you can there. Yeah, can't drink. You can't drink until you're 21 here. But I will say that if you're in the military and you're deploying, yeah, you can drink. At least that's my opinion. You go in you go in at 5, and that's kindergarten. 6 is first, 7 is second, 8 is third, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 10 is 5th grade. So I work with 10 to 11-year-olds. And then on up. So I actually turned 18 right at the beginning of my senior year. So I was actually one of the oldest. And here comes the road grader again. You can hear it. It's so funny. So anyway, yeah, back to this. Yes, Sam found it. One of the things that he really like, I don't know if we've talked about it in because I kind of shortened up our Valentine's trip. Yeah, they don't get held behind anymore. They just don't know it, and we have to reteach it the following year. He found the bed and breakfast, and it's called the Inn on Crescent Lake in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. And he paid for the romance package, which gets us room service, breakfast in bed, chocolate covered strawberries, and a couple of champagne and wine glasses or champagne flutes to bring home. He also paid for a massage on Saturday, like a couples massage, and they come to our room and stuff. So I'm really excited. I'm so it's been mayhem since we came back from Christmas break. I mean, like I think I said this in a coffee corner that I feel like we've had a lot more coffee corners than I thought we would. But I mean, it's been a weird winter weather-wise because it's been warmer some days than you think or colder some days than you think. So I am looking forward to I'm going to pack books. I don't know if I'm going to pack a lot of books because I have a lot of books between my tablet and my phone. And so I can just read and relax. And we're going to pick up because it's kind of a little bit off the beaten path. It's in a really small town, smaller than Guthrie. And so we're going to take some snacks with us so that we have them in our room. Sam originally had planned a really fancy dinner Saturday night, but apparently they changed the menu, and the menu is all seafood based now, which you guys know I can't eat. So we're going we were looking at the Inn on Crescent Lakes website last night, and there's a winery that does wood-fired pizzas, and so we are going to check that out. Then there's like a 50s diner that their big draw is like their cheeseburgers, and that sounds amazing. So I'm going to enjoy a cheeseburger, and it's just going to be, oh, excuse me, a great weekend. I have the Keurig on. I haven't made any coffee yet. I need to do that because I have like an hour left before I have to get ready to be gone. Okay, what is going on here? I've got to go into mine. I'm trying to, okay, there we go. Surfer Girl was on top of it. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't letting me do it, but Surfer Girl got the spammer. Thank you, Surfer Girl, for being on top of that. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, coffee. I need to make... And here comes the broker. I don't know what they're trying to grate off of the road, but there's no more snow on it that they can get. Like, okay, it was kind of up, so I don't know if they're going someplace else, but I'm like, they've graded it 4 times, 2 times going each way. Like, I don't know what left there is to grade. The funnier thing is it's on the street, and it's on some sidewalks, but our sidewalk is like, it's wet, but there's like no snow on it at all. I'm very confused. I'm going to hit my Keurig real quick because I really want some coffee. Sam got me some San Francisco Bay coffee for Christmas, and I want to have some. And it's coffee cake crumble. And I've had it a couple times, and it's really good. And I've got the pod in my thing. I just need to make it. Okay. Coffee! I usually don't take time to make coffee in the mornings simply because I don't have a lot of time, just due to trying to get up and dress and make sure that I'm ready to get on the bus and all that kind of thing. So, but I'm always excited when I have an opportunity to enjoy a cup of coffee here at home. Thank you, Surfer Girl. You are amazing. So, it smells so good. For Christmas, I got an iced coffee maker. I don't know if Christy's coming on or not. This was kind of impromptu. I don't even remember because I don't plan to be on super long because I still have to. We have a 2-hour delay. School will start at 10. Sure, I'll shoot you the link. We have school starts at 10, and I'm gonna leave here like at 8:30, I think. All right, let's see. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna send it to your Instagram. Okay, there, I sent it. Yeah, we still have to go in. We just had a 2-hour delay. I'm not like the roads aren't really that bad. Uh so it's kind of one of those like one of my friends that lives in Heston that teaches said that the roads were kind of slick as she was leaving her house. So I'm glad, like, for her sake, because that gives her time that she can get here a little, like, slower. So I'm happy on that for her. But I wish you could smell this coffee. It smells so good. It's not what I wanted. I'm adding just a little bit of sugar-free hazelnut to it. So one of our teachers got married right before the beginning of school. And they haven't gone on their honeymoon yet. And I got to help book part of it. So I was at Dollar Tree grabbing a card to put their gift in because I just did a gift card. And we were walking past the summer stuff. And I went, oh my gosh, they have Uno. And the Uno cards are maybe the length of my pointer finger long. Like maybe. That may even be too long. They're super cute. They're so tiny. But I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be perfect for their flight because they have a longer flight. So I added that to their booking gift. Okay. I don't know. Like, I got this for Christmas and I like it smells good, but this like orange sherbet chapstick, it feels like it just sits on my lips and is greasy and catches crumbs. I don't like it. Okay, it's still really hot. This is why I don't drink coffee in the mornings while I'm trying to get ready to go to work on a normal basis because it takes too long for my coffee to cool down. So, but no, for anyone who's wondering, I'm probably only going to stay on for maybe another half an hour or so because I need to finish kind of getting around. Hold on. I have a voice message I need to listen to. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. It was from one of the teachers, so I needed to make sure to double check on what that was about. So there's like the funny thing is I see like a lot of people like going, I'm very confused of why we have a 2-hour delay. Maybe it's not because of the weather. Maybe it's because the teachers needed to sleep in. Hey, where's CST? Like a state or city? CST stands for Central Standard Time, like the time zone I'm in. So like currently right now it is 7:15 a.m. Or sorry, a.m. 7:15 a.m. Yeah, Chicago would be a good large city with Central Standard Time. You can use Orlando for Eastern, Chicago for Central, Denver for Mountain, and Seattle for Pacific. So I'm 6 out. Apparently, I'm 6 hours behind Nick. And then here's the thing that I think is absolutely genius about our spring break. Sunday is daylight savings time when we spring forward. I don't know. Do you guys still do you guys do the spring forward and fall back over in the UK, Nick? They have a whole week to get used to the time change before we have to deal with it at school. They used to, spring break didn't used to be like that. I remember like trying to adjust to the spring forward and getting up to go to church and then still having to get up and go to school the next day. It's like and now the kids can sleep in. They can stay up late. They can do whatever they want for a full week before we have to deal with the time change at school. So I'm pretty excited about it. Yes, we do, but it's not on the same day. Oh, when is yours? Ours is that 1 hour. Oh my gosh, Michael Superbecker, amen. That 1 hour messes you up. Like, I'm already thinking about the fact that, like, this time next week, it will be 8:15 a.m. And I'm going, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And you can't make me like it. Like, there's a lot of people who want to get rid of the change in, like, the changing of the time, the, spring forward, fall back. I don't know, like, I see both sides of it. Like, it's for me, it's like, especially working at the school, it's like, okay, we've hit daylight savings time the second time. Okay, just a few more, it's like 2 more months of school. 2 more months of school. It's kind of like a countdown. So you have a week difference. Next time there's one, oh, wow, a week. That's interesting. So ours is Sunday on the 13th. Today is actually when, I don't know how I was going to go with that. Totally spaced off. I haven't had enough coffee yet. Oh, but I'm looking outside, guys. I'm really confused of why we had a 2-hour delay. Unless Marion got more than we did over here, because Hillsborough still had school. I watched the bus go by. I'm like, yeah, Sunday, March 13th is ours. I think it's at like 2 something in the morning. So everyone typically will set their clocks forward an hour before they go to bed. Like, my parents still use a regular clock. All the clocks, they have to go through and change all their clocks. My dad will go, don't forget to set your clocks. And I'm like, Dad, I don't have to. Ours are all digital. It will do it on its own. And Dad's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it'll do it on its own. All we have to do is go to bed. And in the morning, we wake up and we've sprung to the future an hour. And he just looks at me and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. You don't have, like, the first time we had the older computers didn't do that. If anyone remembers the old computers, yours is on March 27th, and you're going to fall back on October 30th. I don't know what fallback day is. Let's see. November 6th is ours, when we're going to fall back. Wow, it's kind of, seems late this year. Does that seem late to anyone else in the U.S. that we're not doing fall back until the beginning of November? Maybe that's right. Because I know that when we went, one of our, I think it was our second trip to Disney. The first time we fully stayed on property and that we flew and everything in 2015. We got there like Halloween Eve, day before Halloween. And then we stayed through, and like the day after Halloween was the time change that year. So it just seems late to me, like that far in November. It just seems weird, because we were really excited because we had like this extra time, like all weekend that we had extra time at Disney. Yeah, so we changed before them, and then after. That is really weird. I wonder why it's not consistent. I mean, I get that you guys are like that way, but I don't know. That just seems weird. I hope all of my fellow teaching peeps are like reading a book or enjoying their coffee and whatnot, because it's kind of nice. Am I going to HHN this year? No, I am not. Sam and I, we talked about it, and it was kind of one of our plans. But our vacation plans look a little different than we thought they would. Not only that, we will have a new director through the special ed co-op. And I'm going to have a new supervising teacher, and I'm already planning to take the very beginning of back right after Christmas break off, like I did this last year. So we do not plan to take any time to go to HHN. Hopefully in the next couple of years we can get back to HHN, because it's something that we both want to do. But with a lot of change in staffing that's going to be happening in the fall, I didn't think it was a good idea to take off time then. I do plan to try to go during Mardi Gras, which happened. It's still going on at Universal during my. Hopefully, they'll keep the same time frame next year for my spring break next year, and I might go do a solo trip for that. I'm not quite sure yet. But Sam and I are kind of one of our plans. Is that's the plan to do, but we're just kind of waiting to see. And I can't talk because my mind went 5 directions. One of our things that we want to talk about this weekend is what things that we want to do, like HHN. And I know we've talked about we want to go do Universal Hollywood and do Disneyland and do some things out there, and maybe go on an Alaska cruise. And just we want to take some time, because it just seems like things get in the way, like life gets in the way of being able to sit down and just talk about things without anything being interrupting. Good morning, Irresistible Magic. Good morning. So Michael says, so the time difference between the USA and England changes for like a week. Apparently, right now it's 8:20 a.m. on the East Coast and 1:20 p.m. in England, a 5-hour difference. So next week it'll be 9:20 a.m. here and still 1:20 p.m. in England, a 4-hour difference. Yeah, it sounds like it. Yes, my health journey is going very well. As of last week, because I really do try to weigh in weekly. I try to ignore the scale the rest of the time. I have lost 22 pounds, which is an average weight loss of about 0.8 pounds a week since I really started back on Monday, January 10th, right after vacation. And I've worked really hard. Some weeks have had more of a loss than others, but every week I do continue to lose, and so I can't be upset with that. It does. One of the things that I have to really focus on myself is a reminder that that number on the scale doesn't define who I am. It doesn't make me less funny, or because I'm not really funny anyway. It doesn't make me less of a friend. It doesn't make me, good morning, surfer girl. Hello.
Hey, good morning. Sorry it took me so long. I had
Not a problem.
I had to put my eyes in. I hate being on camera with my glasses.
I get
Oh,
that.
we have a visitor.
Oh, hello.
When I come in here, he hears people. He's like, "What are you doing? Who's in there?" And
Mhm.
yes, oh no, he's gonna lick me to death. Okay.
And Nicole said good morning to you.
Good morning. Hi, Nicole.
But yeah, 22, like, I feel a lot like kids are brutally honest. And I feel like I've lost a lot more weight in my butt than anywhere else. I went to go sit down on the floor in first grade earlier in the week because I worked in the first grade and then fifth grade and then back and forth. And I kind of went, ow, like when I sat down because I misjudged the distance, like how far I needed to sit down.
Oh, hate that.
And one of the first graders just blatantly looked at me and goes, Miss Lena, you don't have a butt anymore. And I had to tell teacher, don't look at me. Because if you look at me, we're both gonna lose it. So, like, they're brutally honest, which is really funny. But like, apparently I don't have a butt anymore, and I did. But when I like I said, I have to ignore the scale. Like, it's so tempting to like get up in the morning and go, I wonder if I've lost anything. But then I know personally, if I look at it and I've gained from the day before, which I mean, weight fluxes every day. What, depending on what you've ate, if you went poop, I mean, it's one of those things, weight fluxes. And like, I know that I will beat myself up over it, even though.
And you always have to remember, muscle weighs 3 times more than fat. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that.
Oh, yeah.
I had a personal trainer. That's another thing I always try to keep in mind. That is fact.
So I try to get in, and I'm gonna have to really work on it today, because typically I normally at about 5,000 steps by 8:30, because I go, one of my friends has a planning period, and I go walk circles in her room and chat with her in the morning. Well, we don't start school until 10. So it's going to be a little different. I'm just going to have to really like do some extra walking around school today to get to my 10,000 steps. But I've been averaging like 5 miles a day at school.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly, Nicole, from the mouths of babes. So I one of the things that I treated myself to, like, really early, I think it was right around Valentine's Day, so it's been about a month, was a pair of Lululemon, however you want to pronounce it, leggings. And the gal, I like, when we started to go in Disney Springs last July, on our one day that we had after our cruise. And the girl kind of looked at me and went, our store doesn't sell the plus size leggings. I was mortified.
Oh, that's not nice.
But I mean, I appreciated her telling me, that
They do make plus size
they
leggings.
They do. They just, that the Disney Spring store does not sell them.
Yeah.
So I was like, this store looks to be a lot bigger. We'll go in and look. So the gal was like really nice, and because I don't even think I made a video about this. What size pants do you wear? And I said, well, I just got into a size 20. She's like, she kind of looks at me and goes, well, let's grab a 20 and an 18. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, why don't you start with the 18? And I'm like, why? She goes, just trust me. Start with the 18. So the 18s fit. And she comes over, and you know how they like pull on them, like to see how they fit. She goes, these are too big for you. And I looked at her and went, what? She walked over and hands me a 16. She goes,
Oh, wow.
go try these on. And I look at her and go, no. She goes, go try them on. And like literally pushes me into the dressing room.
Oh,
They fit. I was bawling in the middle of Lululemon. However you want to pronounce it.
I'm so happy. You've been working so hard.
Then she goes, I want you to try on another pair. And I looked at her and I went, excuse me? She goes, just do it.
Oh my God, man, she's
they were a size 14. And she goes, here's why. As you lose weight, you'll get a lot more wear out of the 14s than you will the 16s. And I'm telling you, I'm glad, because at that point I hadn't lost that much. At that point, it was still right around 300. And now I'm in the under 290, and they still fit pretty well. If I had gotten the 16s, I would have already, and guys, these aren't cheap leggings. I paid $150 for one pair of leggings. Like, it physically hurt me to buy these leggings. But let me tell you, every time I put on these size 14 leggings, I had the best day in the world. Because I'm like, these, and it's something that makes me stop and pause and go, okay, yeah, I feel like eating everything in the world today, but I can wear a size 14 in leggings. I can do that, but Lena, you are in a size 14. It's one of those things that makes me come back around and pause. Yeah. Well, okay, so Christine is correct. The best time to weigh in is in the morning, butt naked. I agree. But here's the thing. Our house is fully carpet. Our house is over 100 years old, and it's not level. So I literally have to go out in my front yard to our sidewalk with my scale in the morning. I swear people in town think I'm insanity. So because I'm literally wearing my nightgown, my blue nightgown, that I'm holding to make sure it covers my undergarments, and weighing myself in, going, okay, please, like, I'm waiting for a police officer to stop at 4:30 in the morning. Go, what are you doing? Lena's officially lost it. What are you doing? So, but I weigh in at 4:30 in the morning because that's what time Sam is getting ready to walk out the door. And by that point, I've went to the bathroom and all that other kinds of stuff. And so I weigh in at 4:30 in the morning in my nightgown outside. And I'm like, hey, at least people know I'm already kind of crazy, so maybe they won't question it. Good morning, Randy. Nick says, yes, the scale is just a snapshot at that moment in time. If you took 10 readings today, you'll have 10 different amounts. Agreed. And one of the things that I have tried to be consistent in doing is taking a picture on random days. Sometimes I'll take it in the staff bathroom because there's like a full length mirror in there. Sometimes I take it in the 4th, 5th bathroom. It's got kind of the bigger mirror in it. But I promised Sammy that for my July 1st Fitness Friday video, I would do a video like where I started and where I'm at as of that day, because that I'll be in the middle of summer vacation on that video. So obviously, like, I'll have filmed it like a little in advance, but I've been trying to take a photo, and I have a reminder set on my phone a couple times a month. Okay, go take a picture. And I take a front picture and a side picture. And I'm like, oh yeah, it looks like I don't have a butt. The 1st grader was right. I will never forget that. I think that when I'm having a bad day, that 1st grader and his little innocent look, Miss Lena, you don't have a butt anymore, will forever make me laugh.
Your cushion.
But I'm like, The funny thing is I remember when that addition onto the school was built, I was going into 5th grade. I was like the age the kids I work with now are. And I'm going, and I sit there Sundays and I go, like, did my class do this? Like, did we drive our teachers this nuts? Like, really? And I'm friends with my 5th grade teacher on Facebook. And like towards the beginning of the year, I sent her a message and just said, I am so sorry. And she sent me a message going, okay, I'm going to bite. What? And I said, I'm now working in 5th grade as a para. And she just went, got it. Like, I literally had to apologize. I'm going, I don't know if we were like this rambunctious, this talkative or whatnot, but like if we were, I'm not surprised that like teachers started retiring after our class went through. Like, and I know some of it is spring break fever. We have today and tomorrow before spring break. I have today. I'm off tomorrow. I'm like, I just have to get through till 3:30 today. And I'm done for 10 days. But like one of the teachers is like, so is there going to be emails going out? And I'm going to be like, I don't know. I'll check on Sunday before I go to bed.
Right?
I am not checking.
I'm checking out. See y'all.
I am not checking my email for a week.
Don't blame you.
Because I need it. I think I mentioned it earlier. We're getting ready for all the state assessments, all the reading assessments, and all that kind of stuff. So it's like the kids know it's coming, and I think some of it is on their end is like it's stress, because we can't help them with it. When it comes for the reading test, like we can't read anything to them. Even our kids with accommodations, we can't read anything. We just have to tell them, do your best, sound it out to me. We can say stuff like that, but we can't tell them the word. When it comes
is this like the ACTs and I know the SATs are higher, but is this like those tests you have to fill in the little circles and everything?
Everything's computerized now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
even the ACT and SAT, but no, these are the state standardized tests that you take in elementary.
Oh.
And so for math, like we can read them a word. Like if it's talking about a trapezoid has how many sides? We can say that word is trapezoid. Well, what does trapezoid mean? I'm sorry, I can't tell you. Yeah. The word is trapezoid. Take what you will out of that, me telling you the word is trapezoid. That's all we can do. It's so that they know, we can find out how much they've paid attention. But then we aren't getting the results apparently until middle of October of this year, which is for us 2 months into the school year. So teachers don't even know like if it's like how to implement the test scores into next year's curriculum.
Oh, Nicole said, enjoy your break. Nicole, I don't know if you were earlier, but you missed it. Sam surprised her. They're going away to a bed and breakfast.
I'm really excited. I am. It's called the Inn on Crescent Lake, and it's surrounded by 2 lakes, and it's been snowing, and they're supposed to have a little bit more snow than we are. And Sam said the pictures are just with it and snow are just absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited. Typically we don't stay at bed and breakfast, and I think that's something that annoys Sam a little bit because I'm like, no, let's stay over here at this hotel. He's like, I don't want to stay at a hotel. I want to stay someplace else. I think he gripes about it in one of our Valentine's videos, actually, or in a trip announcement video. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's either the video. I know the video hasn't come up yet because we're still in Disney videos, but he gripes about it in one of the videos. It's pretty funny.
I look forward to that massage. Oh man, I haven't had massage in years. Oh.
I used to go down monthly to a place in Wichita called Healing Waters and get a massage once a month. And Sam would just kind of go off and do whatever. He'd go golf in the summer, or he'd go sit at Barnes and Noble, because Barnes and Noble is like catty corner from it, maybe like a 3-minute walk. He'd drop me off and park and like text me, hey, the car is here when you're done, because I'd have like a small bag. And he's like, I'm going to go to Barnes and Noble. He's like, I'll get coffee, I'll read, I'll do whatever. Well, because I would spend like 3 or 4 hours, because they had like little finger foods and like water and tea and all that you could do before and after your appointment. But as I got heavier, I got really embarrassed to go. So I discontinued my membership, and now they don't even offer that one anymore, which I'm really mad about, because I would definitely pay for it again. So I haven't had a massage in probably 3 years, maybe, because I just felt like I was too big, and I was just really embarrassed. Yes, Sam gets major brownie points for it. And I feel like this cup is like the size of my head. It's like
Hi, Nicole. Hello, Nicole. Good morning.
This is like a cup from Friends in the coffee shop. It's like the size of your head.
It's huge.
I think this was TJ Maxx for like $3. It was a Harry Potter mug, and it's heavy. It's heavier when it's full.
I have arthritis in my hand, so I can't heavy ones.
My arthritis has kind of been flaring up the past couple of days, I think, with this weather front coming in. And so we were at Dollar General a couple of nights ago, and they had like a whole bunch of winter stuff on clearance, and it was an additional like 70 or 80% off. And so when I grabbed a whole bunch of hot hands, because I use them on the bus. And we went to check out, and I'm like, hey, these are on a shelf over in the corner with the winter stuff that said everything on there's half off with an additional 80% off. And the kid looked at me and went, okay, and rang everything up as a penny. He's like, I'm not doing the math. And I'm like, works for me. So I've been using the hot hand. I've just been getting one, and I will hold it and I play with it in class because it makes my hands move. Mm-hmm. And I kind of able to like squeeze and stuff, this hot hand, and it keeps my hand warm, and it kind of helps stave off that arthritis pain, because I do so much riding at school.
Yeah, the dampness, it triggers my migraines and my joint pains in it. But I've been taking Loxicam every day for about a year or two now, and that seems to be helping. It even actually helped my neuropathy from when I had chemotherapy, which my fingertips are like pins and needles pretty much.
Yeah.
And and some days I forget, but if I religiously do take my Loxicam every day. And I'm really blessed because my husband's insurance is so much better than mine used to be. I pay like $1.25, $1.50 a month for most all my prescriptions. It's amazing because I have to take 2 heart pills and then Meloxicam, and it's like less than $4 a month. And it was way so expensive when I had Blue Cross Blue Shield. It was crazy.
A couple of my teacher friends have Blue Cross Blue Shield here in Kansas, and they're like, this is crap. So
when I see my primary, it's $10. I'm like,
amazing.
It's like, yeah, and James he's been going to the foot doctor that he goes, well, it's a wound specialist, and they don't even send him a copay or anything. It's just they like it's different how they send it to the insurance company, and then once they've paid everything, then they'll send us a bill and everything. But,
yeah. So Sam went to the doctor for something last year. I think it may have been he had a really bad MS flare up, and they were having to do steroid treatments for it because it like was not going away. And they're still between our primary insurance and his military insurance are still arguing back and forth over it. So about once
it's like
a month we get another notification from our primary insurance. This is not a bill. We are still in talks with the VA, but every time it goes down a little bit more, a little bit more. And I know because the hospital sent us a bill for like $4,000, and I'm like, you haven't processed this correctly, because these are all processed as ER visits, and these are not ER visits. These are clinic visits having to be done in the ER due to having to do it after hours and you wanting to do an hour of steroids post when he can do it. So these are not ER visits. These are clinic visits. Number two, you have not submitted this to his military insurance at all. And they're like, and the lady's like, let me talk to the doctor. And I said, yeah, that'd be a really good idea. So this is a year later, because this happened about like around this time last year. So they've been playing back and forth with the VA for a year now, and we still don't know what we actually owe. But I think it's down to like the last time we got a bill for it, it was like $150. One of those, this is not a bill. So by the time that they're all said and done, we may actually end up owing nothing.
I was trying. This light is making me so hot. I was trying to turn it on, but it was too dark. Man.
So, okay, have you? And I only know about it because of TikTok. TikTok takes up like my evenings. It's a really great way to decompress.
Christies are so funny sometimes.
Yeah. Amazon Basics. It's like their answer to Walmart.
Oh, really?
And they've got like an Amazon product for almost everything. And I'm on teacher TikTok, and one of the teachers was talking about these pens. They're an Amazon felt pen. You know, like what a Papermate Flare pen is, right? But like they call them the teacher pen. They're the different colored like little felt tip pens. Amazon has their own version of them. I like them better. They're cheaper. There's 24 of them for $15. Plus the tips are smaller, because with a Flare pen, the tip of the pen will like fold or it'll kind of pop. But these are so tiny that they don't do that. I absolutely adore them. And I shared one with one of the fifth grade teachers who was doing some grading, and she's like, where did you get these? And so for beginning of the school year next year, I'm going to get the teachers that I work with each their own set of those pens. But if you search Amazon Basics on Amazon, it'll give you tons of different like categories. Right now they've got like stuff on sale, and it's like a 2-hole pencil sharpener. So like a big one and a small one, a 3-pack for $5. Or they have some of them that's a 1-hole sharpener, a 6-pack for $8. So if you're looking for like end of the year gifts for teachers, definitely check out Amazon Basics and stock them up for next year. Teachers are running out of tissue, Kleenex, and Clorox wipes. Donate some to your local school because we're running out.
So you can buy stuff, because I'm actually, my friend Jen, I don't know if you've heard, she has a channel, Life Joyfully Done, and she's fostering this mama dog right now. And I've been sending her a package every week. Just the one I sent yesterday is just got, it has it was Clorox it was Walmart brand, the wipes, but I also sent her doggy wipes. So when they poop and pee and walk in it, they're not having to give them a bath 3 times a day. So I'm like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea, because you can't, with dogs, you have to be careful what you put on their skin. You don't want them to break out. It's like babies. And then you can just throw it away. So, and trash bags, they use all like that. So, and she does have an Amazon wish list. But
like they have a box of like number two pencils like that you sharpen, 144 of them for $11.
that's kind of expensive. I guess I don't know. I don't know how much school supplies cost anymore. I'll have to look because
on average, I think they were talking. I think they were saying at the beginning of the school year that it could cost an elementary student upwards of $150 to $200 to get school supplies for school.
so you do that so they don't have to bring supplies to school?
Because yeah.
Like they don't. So the kids. Okay, I was gonna say because don't kids have. I said I get. I mean, I guess
here's the thing. Our area has a lot of low income students. I think, and the food bank here people can donate extra money and they will put together backpacks for the kids for the beginning of school. And I know, like, I've been at fifth grade, I don't usually they do so much writing at that point. I hate pencils that have to be sharpened with a passion because they forever are breaking their lead and have to go sharpen their pencil in the middle of class, in the middle of notes. So all you hear is no, 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 no.
Do you use mechanical
pencils? Buy your kids mechanical pencils. For the love of everything, fifth grade, buy your kids.
Lena, I have to keep that in mind because when I buy school supplies, for my Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes that I do, I wasn't able to do it last year, but I've got all these shoes that I got a really good deal last year. So what I do is whatever gender it is, and then the age. So if it's an older child, a girl, I'll buy them pens and markers instead of crayons and pencils.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll have to send you a little care package if I get some like leftovers, because erasers and pencils and stuff is what I usually buy.
I have been through 130 mechanical pencils since the beginning of the school year because the kids run out. We've got families that can't they didn't buy them in the first place. It was something that was they had a backpack provided to them by the food bank. They can't afford to replace every time the kid's highlighter goes missing or the eraser's gone. The teachers supply all the extras. Like, I've been through 130 mechanical pencils. I have maybe 15. Thankfully, we're almost at the end of the school year, and I'll restock when it comes to when starting in July, I'll start picking up mechanical pencils and regular pencils and erasers and notebook paper and spirals and folders, and I'll have my own stash because the kids will run out. Two, the teachers will be like, hey, we need you to bring in, all of a sudden they were like, hey, by the way, we're now going to offer Spanish to third, fourth, and fifth graders. You need to bring a blue folder. A couple of the kids, a 25-cent folder. They're like, hey, Mrs. Hall, our parents aren't going to go buy more school supplies. I said, don't worry about it. I have extras. I will go buy. I think I bought $10 worth of blue folders and just gave them to the teacher. Here, there you go. Because there's parents that won't go buy more stuff after the school year. One of my things that I think I did a video about it, either last year or 2020. It may have been in my first year of doing YouTube. Man, I can't believe I'm coming up on 3 years now. That when you're doing school supply shopping, double and triple everything and send them brand new supplies when they come back from Christmas break, because their crayons are broke. They're missing colors. You name it, and it's happened in the course of between August and December.
Bye, Nicole. Have a good day.
Enjoy your run. Go you. I don't run. I walk quickly.
Yeah. That's last year after back to school. That's what I did. Whenever everything went half off, I think I bought pens and erasers and pencils, whatever I could get my hands on.
Mm-hmm.
And then because and for kids, the shoe boxes, I just try to pack as much as I can. So I always pencil and erasers and crayons and
highlighters.
Well, see the different countries, so you don't think about that, but they even I think you can still send lipsticks. You can't send toothpaste anymore in the shoe boxes that go overseas. And
Right.
but you can still send toothbrushes. So I'd like send that comber hairbrush, brush, something like that. And and then the different ages, you can actually, I used to be able to, like the girls, because Walmart you can get like a little sewing kit for like $5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I try to give the older ones like they can have like a livelihood. Like you
Right.
can actually get a small little hammer, and if it's like everything is contained and it's still, like not like loose nails and loose this,
Right.
and duct tape, because duct tape can, like uh, some. I had this one teacher that contacted me. They were meeting under a tarp. That was their school. They
Mm-hmm.
were meeting under a tarp. So stuff like duct tape and stuff like that. So, yeah, I really want to. I think I'm just gonna. Once I'm done with this last swap, and I think I might. I am done. I am so done with swaps. I'm like I've been so disappointed, and it's like I love doing them to give, but it's like when people don't listen to instructions and don't follow, and just is like it's just, I'm done. I'm like, I don't contact that bad. I can create, I'll you know you know I'll figure something out. You just gotta do what you gotta do. And because Myrtle Beach has got lots of different, things around here to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's parks, and I love going to the when like 9/11. There's a memorial park,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm just grabbing my shoes. I'm right here.
oh, you're fine. And then we have the convention center where I just did the South Carolina Hall of Fame is actually here whenever it was the crash, the Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it happened on the day my brother was killed, so I always remember that day. But Ron McNair, he was from this area, like about Lake City, 20, 25, about a half an hour away from us. And Darius Rucker is going to be he's actually has been inducted, but his picture's not there yet. So I can't wait till he's inducted. I want to go take his picture whenever, because they do, like, they put up their picture and their history of
Mm-hmm.
them, because different um, astronauts and teachers. There's several, famous people that are in the Hall of Fame. I did like a small little video. The day is it January 26th or something? I did that video.
I think
But
that sounds right.
I want to go back when Darius, because I love Darius Rucker's music, and I didn't at first because it was just, it's so country, but him as a person, he's an awesome, I love him
Well,
so much.
it's hard to separate Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish.
I know. Well, I grew up, yeah, everybody loves Hootie. I mean, when I was back in the 90s, I loved Hootie and the Blowfish, but
Well, try explaining to fifth graders that Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish and Darius Rucker are the same person.
well, after
And
the Masters, the weekend after the Masters, he does this big. He invites all the golfers to come here to Myrtle Beach, and even my Dan Marino even comes here because I'm a big Miami Dolphin fan. All kinds of celebrities come, and they just do it as a getaway. It's not like really publicized, but people that
Right.
live in Myrtle Beach know about it every year. And if you want to see it, and it's at this fancy dancy golf club, and they just go there to have a good time. And I think it's some kind of fundraiser, I believe, or
I'm
something.
sure.
Yeah, it's the Monday after the Masters, I think is what it's called. And I would love to just, go there, just hang out and watch him, and I'm not really into golf, but and he has the most beautiful wife. Oh my gosh.
Hello, French fries too. Welcome in. Glad that you're hanging out with us this morning on this school delay coffee corner.
Is it, so you got to get going, Sue. Just let me know.
Okay, now I got my shoes on, and so I'm pretty much ready to go. Well, because like I said at the beginning of the video, we weren't with looking out my window. I would have never guessed we'd have a 2-hour delay.
Were they expecting it to get worse, or I mean, why did they do that? You don't know. You have no idea.
Like we did a 2, and I say we because I live in Hillsboro, which is its own school district, and I work 10 minutes away in the Marion School District.
Oh.
We, as in Marion, had a 2-hour delay. Peabody Burns, which is another district about 20 minutes away from Hillsboro, had a 2-hour delay. Hillsboro had school. The only thing that I can come up with that the reason Hillsboro had school is because we play in sub-state basketball today. And Kansas high school sports regulations states if you do not have school, you cannot participate in sports. There cannot be a sports event if there's not school that day.
Okay.
We have school in Hillsboro so that we can go to Substate. The funnier part is that Substate is at K-State University, and they're closed today because of the weather. But we're going to drive there, as in Hillsboro, and have Substate basketball. Welcome to Kansas. French Fry 2 says, hello, Surfer Girl. French Fry 2, I'm glad that you're hanging out with us this morning. I am really excited because I get to go to school and have had coffee today.
So I have because I'm trying to figure out where you're at. So how far have you and Sam ever thought about going to Marceline? How far is that from you?
Marcy, I want to say Marceline is about 3 hours from us. Let me look.
Okay.
Actually, I want Google Maps. We've talked about going to Marceline.
The bucket list of ours so much one day to go to the barn and they're actually because that's the little town the Walt was
Marceline is about 5 hours away from us.
Oh man, that's
Kansas City is about 2.5 to 3, and it looks like it's a couple hours up outside of Kansas City.
But that town is coming back to life. They're building. There's one ride. Because Justin Scard goes there. He's been there a couple times. I can't remember if Jacob the carpetbagger went there. They're recreating this ride that used to be there like back in the day in the 50s and 60s that Walt wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Or he did Disneyland Disney World, and like in the whole thing, and of course I'm trying to think.
Bar. Good morning, welcome in.
I think it's the original bar and everything, but we've always been wanting to go there, but
it's only 2 hours from the bed and breakfast that we're at. Maybe I can talk Sam into maybe going, because we don't have a whole lot planned for our Sunday when we come home. Maybe on that Sunday, maybe I can convince him after breakfast to go to Marceline and then for a couple hours and then go home.
That's something. I love the history of where Walt came from. It's anything about Walt. I feel like such a nerd, but I'm like, I just what he went through. I have his autobiography, but I want to get it on audio so bad because it's like this thick. Every time I pick it up, I have to. It's like it's too heavy. But it's just his life story. How many times he went bankrupt and everything. People just don't understand what he went through, and just to keep coming back. And then when he lost the rights to Oswald, and just so many things. I really would like to. That would be amazing to. I hope you can. That would be pretty awesome. And you might get a lot of views from that. I'm like, it's, but it's it's. I don't know. I wonder what the weather. Hopefully, the weather will be good when you're.
The weather's supposed to be kind of cold. I know Friday and at least, and Saturday's supposed to be cool, but Friday's supposed to be kind of cool, so we're planning just to kind of get there and relax and kind of maybe read by the fireplace, which I'm really excited about. And then Saturday we're going to explore. It's a really small town, and we have sorry, all of my alarms for school are still on. So it's gonna randomly have some alarms going.
It'll be like Groundhog Day, be a little town, and the white pigeons and.
Okay. Since at 9:30. Okay. There's no breakfast and no item for school. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was getting more messages from school that I did not realize that I had. I was like, oh, did we have a like? I was thinking, did they actually can? I was gonna laugh if they canceled school, but
Oh no.
it's not. It was just, hey, there's gonna be no breakfast today and no morning preschool, which is pretty typical when there's a 2-hour delay.
Yeah.
But I will ask Sam, because Sam loves history and that kind of stuff as well. And I know that
if you go, tell him. I'm sorry. Remember a magic marker.
So you can find, yeah.
When you go in the barn, because when you got to go in the barn, some people just engrave it and like, bring it back. Make sure you bring a Sharpie so you can sign your name, your initials, or something on the barn. I mean, I figured you were on top of that, but I just wonder.
Yeah. These are some of those Amazon basics I was telling you about earlier. Sharpies. They had 24 colored permanent markers for $5.
And please message, if you do, message me on Instagram pictures or something.
I'll post on Instagram over the weekend.
I'm so excited. But please give Sam my love, and I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Be safe.
We were like, do we cancel? Do we not? Because like when they started canceling stuff yesterday with school, we're like, is it going to be worse than we thought? But apparently it went like a really weird direction. So like Northwest Kansas out by Colorado got a lot more snow than we did. So we're like, okay, we're going that way. We should be and we're leaving a little earlier because we weren't going to leave until like 3:30, but Sam's going to take off a couple hours earlier and we're going to leave around 1:30 instead. So we'll be driving during the heat of the day. So things should be pretty well like melted at that point. And so when we get there, we aren't going very far. And then Sunday's supposed to be it's supposed to be like in the 60s on Sunday. So I think it would be like a little bit like warmer. And so if we just, I'll say, hey, we're 2 hours from Marceline. Do you want to go check it out? And he may say, hey, let's do that another weekend.
How far away is this that you had to come back home?
The Excelsior Springs is about 3 hours from us, and it's kind of on the other side of Kansas City, which is about 2.5.
Went to so it'd be way out of your way though.
But when we get to the bed and breakfast, it's 2 hours, like up and over from the bed and breakfast that we're at.
But you would leave the bed and breakfast and then just go and then come home from Marceline, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it wouldn't be horrible. We had talked about going to IKEA, but I want to do a little bit more rearranging in the house before we go to IKEA. So that's if we don't go on this trip to Marceline, my guess is it will probably go up sometime over the summer for another kind of couple 3 days, and maybe then go to Marceline when it's a little warmer.
And when that's true. And when you have a little more time to rest and you don't have to go to work the next day or something.
Well, I don't. I have all next week off because it's spring.
Okay.
That's why I'm laughing. We're getting a snowstorm right before spring break. It's currently 20 and feels like -10.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad that I'm not on the bus this morning. Kudos to my bus, because I was on Thursdays. We've been attending what's called Starbase. It's a Department of Defense led science camp for 5th grade, and it's a 5-week program, and it gets them ready for state assessments in Kansas. And so today was supposed to be our last week, but it got canceled yesterday because of the predicted weather. So we have a makeup date at the end of the month. So I was talking to the gal who does my bus duty when I'm not there, and she's like, really? And I'm like, I know. Do you want to go ahead and do the bus? She's like, yeah, I've already got it all set up. I'll go ahead and do the best stuff like we had originally planned. And I'm like, works for me. I'll just go in like I would for a Thursday during Starbase. And then we have a 2-hour delay. So I'm going, hey, she's like, hey, I got a delay on the bus. And I'm like, yes, you do. I'm just glad, like, I'm glad that they made the decision then when we were still on vacation in Orlando, like right after Christmas break, they had to close school because of the weather. And at first it was a 2-hour delay. And then it was like, no, we're canceling school. They were already in the middle of the bus route when they decided to cancel school. So I'm like, hey, at least you are still at home this time. And she's like, right.
Well,
So
compensated. I mean, if you're out and about, and still on the.
she was, we legally have to be clocked in to transportation when we're on the bus. So
So you drive us?
I'm a para support on the bus. We have a middle schooler whose IEP states he has to have a
Okay.
para on the bus, and it's more like, it's like, hey, sit down. Hey, we can't sit up on the bus. Play on your tablet. You're fine. It is pretty much observing without observing. So like I'm like just kind of looking at my phone and like kind of glancing over it, like watching him without really like him noticing that I'm watching him. And then like we used to have a bus for the middle high school students and a bus for the elementary students. Well, one of the bus drivers was gone for a while, so they needed that other bus, the elementary bus driver, the elementary bus to cover that route. So we just had been combining K-12 into one bus from the Florence run, and it's actually worked really well. The middle high school students have actually acted better because we're like, you guys have to be setting an example for the elementary students. So I have across from me, I have my students. So like bus seats are this way. I set this way so that I can face him. And if I turn, I can kind of observe the whole bus. And so I have two kindergarten students behind me and a couple of students behind my other student that I all kind of watch those because the kindergarten students trying to lay on the floor of the bus and it's just not safe. And so we're like, hey, you have to sit in your seat or you're going to get an assigned seat.
Dirty. That's disgusting.
Yeah. They try to lick the floor too.
Oh!
Kindergartners and boys, they're great.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like JoJo. I'll let him go outside and he'll lick the ground, and there'll be rocks and stuff, and I'm like in the sand. I'm like, why? You just ate. Why are you licking the ground?
Yeah.
Such a way.
So I'm like, hey, you need to be setting up, and they can't wear their hoods on the bus. We have to be able to see their face, so we okay, make sure to take your hood off. But I'm cold. I go warm up in a minute. Just chill. So, and then the bus adventures, and the best parts of my day really are on the bus sometimes because they'll be like, Miss Lena, and want to tell me all about like this dinosaur that they had. So it's great. It's really a lot of fun, but I do enjoy. It's a lot being up at 4:30 in the morning every day, and then getting on the bus, going to school, and then on the bus, and then coming home. Because my day normally doesn't end until about 4:45, 4:20 a.m. to 4:45 by the time I get home. So it's kind of been nice these star-based breaks. To be able to like drink a cup of coffee in the morning and eat a little bit more for breakfast and that kind of thing. So I'll miss it when it's over, but I know that I already know that I'm so ingrained into my routine that I will do it continually over the summer as well. Which annoys Sam to pieces. He's like, you can sleep in. It's Saturday.
It's hard. When I had to be at work at 4 a.m, it's still kind of hard, because I don't have to be till 6. But like this week, I had to be to work at 5 a couple of days, so it's like, when you're off, your body wakes up anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say that it has when we're on vacation, it makes for some beautiful sunrises and especially like in July, we're going on a cruise. And so, like, we have a balcony. And so being able to go outside and watch the sunrise over the ocean is just, it's beautiful. I actually got hit at, not like physically hit, but they had to have proof. This is a photo I took last July, when we were on Freedom of the Seas, which was a sponsored cruise from Royal Caribbean, one morning from the top.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't do any color alterations to it. That's just exactly how the photo came out off of my phone. Wow. It was one of my favorite pictures. Just kind of how that kind of the gray of the morning. It was just absolutely stunning. But I can't wait. Sam and I are like, okay, there are no apps that provide a countdown that you can make onto your wallpaper that I have found other than this Disney one. And they have like a universal one as well. And so I'm still using a Disney countdown app forever. But I'm not going to Disney. It's so that I can have a countdown on my wallpaper. Otherwise, you have to physically go into the app and look to see how many days there are. Because like there's 100 and some odd. Let me see. I want to say it's like 115. I think. Let me look. 116 until our Carnival Breeze cruise, but we're going down to Galveston like 3 or 4 days early, so that doesn't account for that. So once tomorrow comes, which is our spring break trip, which is my current countdown, I'll change it to our July trip so that there's an actual countdown for the full trip. So
what you're going is where you're going in July is Carnival?
Mm-hmm. We're going to be on the Carnival Breeze, and it's 5 nights. It goes to Yucatan and Cozumel, and a couple days at sea. So I'm pretty excited.
I don't know if I've been on Holland American Lines. When I graduated in '86, me and my sister, she actually wanted a radio station.
That's so cool.
And it was right before the Grand Cayman. One of those islands got like a hurricane. I think it was the Grand Cayman Islands. They got like wiped out. It was like about a year or two before they got wiped out because we went to East Caribbean. It was the Grand Cayman Islands, Cozumel, Mexico, Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Oh, we did the waterfall. If you ever get a chance, you actually have to walk up and down the waterfall, and the guy, like, he carried all our cameras and everything. It's called Dunn's River Waterfalls. It was so pretty. I remember bits and pieces, but yeah, it was that was a week. That was 7 days. 7 days is when I lived in Fort Lauderdale, and we had to fly to Tampa to go out. The ship went out of Tampa. Holland American. That's the only cruise I've ever taken. But yeah, I'd like to do like a little 3-night, or maybe it sounds like those are a little bit affordable. But,
well, the wonderful thing I think about a cruise is that just like with a Disney vacation or a Universal vacation, you can make payments on them. You don't have to pay everything up front. And when you think about the fact that your food is included on a cruise, when you look at the price and go, man, well, because Sam and I have done the same thing. We went back and forth a lot. I mean, we always do. And it drives us both crazy because the other person will do it, then the other person will start to do it. But if you figure that
how much you're going to food every day.
I think Sam and I, for the two of us, we normally budget $200 per day for food, whether we're at Disney or Universal. So when you look at, and there's no dining plan right now. So when you look at the cost of your vacation, you still have to go, but I've still got to budget this amount of money for food. And if you want any type of souvenirs, you have to budget for that. When you look at the price of a cruise, if you don't want to eat at a specialty restaurant, you don't have to, because there's so much food included. You're like, that's it. If you want something, if you want a drink package, because like depending on the cruise line, it depends on what type of drinks are included. Like with a Disney cruise, all of your soda and stuff is included. But with like Royal Caribbean or Carnival, you have to pay for a soda package if you want soda. But even then, it's like I think it's like I want to say Sam and I paid last year like $70 for our soda package, and it was for Coke Freestyle machines, and we got a cute little cup that looked like a Coke glass that had little Caribbean symbols all over it. It was included in our package, and it was pretty much that was ours to keep. It was a souvenir to bring home, and we both use them all the time. And so if you figure that a cup like that is going to cost you at least $20
Yeah.
per person, if you say, okay, well, we paid $70 for the package, deduct $40 from that, and you're paying $30, divided by 2 is $15 per person. And if you think about it in theme park prices, a soda is $4.
Yeah, 4 or 5, yeah.
So if you say $5 a piece, 3 drinks and we paid for it. 3 sodas and we paid for it. And we didn't drink a lot of soda. We drank a lot of the sparkling water out of the machines. They had Coke Freestyle machines. So just like if you're at Universal, you have all the same options. And so we drank a lot of the sparkling water because we were in the heat. I mean, you guys, I think you saw our video. We were red. We were cooked. The lobster had less color than we did. So we have already talked about it. And we're going to get what Carnival calls the Cheers package. And it's the top level package, but it includes your alcohol and your coffees and your juice and your soda. We can't have alcohol until day 2 because with the package, because of Texas's alcohol laws. But we can have anything else day 1. We can have a specialty coffee. We can go get soda. We can go, and of course we can pay for a drink on that first day. But the Cheers package the alcohol doesn't kick in until day 2. But we were super happy with the soda package for the time that we were on the cruise last year. For those of you who are new to the channel, and I know I've seen several new channels in the chat, I'm a travel agent. And last year, when the startup of cruising happened for the U.S., Royal Caribbean gave travel agents an opportunity to be one of the first ones to sail out of the U.S. For free. All we had to do was pay the port taxes and gratuities, which for myself and my husband was about $300. We were gifted an ocean view balcony cabin on deck 7, and we had a day at sea, a stop at Nassau, and a stop at their personal island Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And if you go to our channel, you can find that playlist. And like I said, we were cooked. It was like being next to the sun. So make sure to check out that video if you are wanting to get into cruising. We had a lot of fun. We learned a lot, and we will definitely be taking those lessons into our next cruise in July.
I think I've been wanting to get a hold of you because one of mine and James's bucket list in 2024 is to go to Disneyland.
Okay.
I still need to get my real ID, but because we're going to have to fly and all that good stuff. But he keeps telling me, well, we'll just take Spirit, because Spirit actually right now is 6 hours straight flight, but we would have to drive from Charleston. So it flies out of Charleston, but I'm like, well, I said, let me.
Here's the thing with Spirit and JetBlue. I'm sure they're great. I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. And here's why. You pay for everything. If you take on a carry-on bag onto the plane, you pay for it. If you want to check a bag, you pay for it. If you want food on there, you pay for it. The seats aren't great. Huh?
For 6, you have to. If you want food on a 6-hour flight, they don't provide it?
Everything is paid. You
Gosh.
have to pay for every little thing. That's why they're so cheap, is because they don't include anything. You're better off with an economy seat on a major airline.
Yeah, well, with all the gas prices, I'm just gonna have to. I think I'm just gonna buy my time in a year or two because right now with everything, I mean, they're talking South Carolina. I mean, because I mean, they're predicting the gas prices are gonna like $8 to $10 a gallon, and
Yeah.
we're predicting about $6 here in South Carolina within a couple of weeks.
So we're
Uh,
still in the we're still at 350.
we're it's like $354 here right now, Myrtle Beach. So I'm like, when I
Okay.
get down to half a tank, I just keep filling it up.
Yeah.
Just even if I don't need it, I just because I'm bracing myself for the $6. I mean, thank goodness, even though I do drive a truck, it's like a 6 cylinder. It's not an eight, and I drive like maybe 10 miles a week to my back and forth to my job. You
Mm-hmm.
know, where and my husband doesn't he doesn't drive very far his either. So it's like. I'm like, I'm like, I really want to go. We always go see my sister in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
Lena, which is like 5 or 6 hours. I'm like, we're just going to have to take 1 month at a time now. I'm like, I just, this craziness just needs to stop. This this Russian president, he just needs to back off. I mean, this is just it's just crazy. I mean, it's like a
Well,
domino.
that's kind of one of, like, we there'll be a trip announcement video, I think, in July. Um, Brandy says our flight doubled about 2 days after we booked due to fuel prices. Gonna be a stay home spring. Yeah, that's Sam and I. When we started talking last summer about what we wanted to do this year, um, we we bought a new car almost about a year ago. And we are so glad that we did because our car is so fuel efficient.
Good.
Um, we we filled up when we were driving to Miami last year. We filled up here in Hillsboro. And we didn't have to get gas until right on the other side of the Illinois line. So we went through Kansas, through Missouri, and right into Illinois. Oh no, we were almost through Illinois. So we got through like 3 states on 1 tank of gas.
How many miles? Because James's journey, he can get
Our
around 400 or 425 miles on
That's
gas.
about what we get in our we have a Ford Escape. And that was on Dollar General gas. That wasn't like, which for us is like really good gas around here, because otherwise we have Casey's. And I'm not sure who their distributor is through from Dollar General, but it's really good gas. We fill up, and we only have to fill up about once every week and a half, and that's getting down to like a quarter tank. So we only use 3/4 tanks in 2 weeks, and that's Sam going to and from work. Sometimes he picks me up after school, and sometimes my dad does it, and maybe making a run out of town. But we get really good gas mileage and really good both in town and out of town. So I couldn't, when Sam had broached the idea and said, hey, I think we should start looking for a new car. And I'm like, okay, well, something to talk about. And then that was that morning. And I literally had sat down in the classroom that I was working in the spring. And I get, hey, by the way, this is on a Thursday or a Friday, I think. He's like, by the way, tomorrow we're going to pick up our new car. Excuse me?
When we talk about this.
What? And he's like, no, you don't understand. We need a new car. And we really did. We'd had the white truck that we had was really kind of falling apart. And I'm like, don't you think we can get through like another year? Which, with everything happening this year, I'm glad we didn't. He's like, no. He's like, we're going to be on the road somewhere and end up stranded because this thing's going to fall apart. And I'm like, okay. And I think one of the reasons I had such a hard time letting go of the truck, again, one of my school alarms, It had been my brother Howard's truck before it was ours. And I think I was like, you're asking me to get rid of this truck. And Sam's like, I know, but honey, it's falling apart. And I'm like, I mean, like it was rusting underneath, and it was like he's like, when I changed the tire, like the bearings are about to go out. And I'm like, all
What
right,
year was
fine.
it?
Huh?
What
It
year
was
was it?
2000. It was a 2002 Chevy Silverado HD.
Oh wow, my
It
truck
was
is a 2002. That's how old my truck is.
it was a gas guzzler because it was a HD 4-wheel drive. It had a life before us. It had been an oil rig truck before my brother had it.
100,000 miles on it.
And then it has so many miles on it. It had 300,000 miles on it when we were headed to Washington in 2008.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I hope they know that their back door's open. Okay. Like literally the car just drove by and their back door's open. I'm like, okay. But I love our car. Sam was like, it's a red Ford Escape, and I know you like red. And I'm like, yeah, I like red. He's like, I got red. And it literally had all the miles that are on it, we've put on it. It had, when we went to go test drive it, it had 10 miles on it. That's it. Literally,
wow.
It was a brand new car.
That's the best way to. When you buy anything you used under 30,000 or 20, it's just
And Sam's like, when it's paid off, when we go to trade it in, we are going to be the only owners on it. Well, we paid for extra, like we can take it into the dealership and they'll clean it. They'll detail the inside of it, no charge. It's already paid for. We've already paid for, I think, 3 years worth of oil changes. It was all figured into our loan. It's got gap insurance on it. We did everything correctly when it came to buying this car, and we take care of the car. And so, like, for a while, we were really anal about it. We wouldn't even eat anything in the car. And Sam's like, okay, we have to be realistic about this. So we had trash bags on the seat instead of seat covers because it was kind of muddy where Sam worked. And then eventually we're like, you know what? It's life. And
so I got special seat cup, like waterproof, because hey, I'm a beach person. I love going to the beach.
Well,
and I'm not going to sit there and wait till I completely
right.
dry. I used to just throw a towel on my seat, and then your seat. But with the special kind of seat covers, it takes less time to dry and everything because you get mildew and stuff.
Right.
If
ours has the heated seats, and it's not just in the bottom, it's in the back too. And they're like, and so they're like, you really can't put seat covers on this because it'll affect the heating element. And I'm like, okay. So whenever we had the trash bags on our seats, we couldn't use the heat seat heater. So we're like, okay, we have to be realistic about it. And so that lasted like, I think, a month and a half.
Seat covers really, they really make your, put the longer life on your seats. Though you're probably gonna have to keep not Armor All, but what do you call it? With the suit? You know how Scotch guard, maybe Scotch guard or something.
Yeah, we take it in about once a month.
Okay, so they probably do that then.
Yeah, they clean it up and whatnot. So it's about time to do. And since we've owned it, we've only done one oil change on it because it had brand new oil when we got it, and we had it changed right before our trip to Miami last year. And then I need to set an appointment. I need to call next week and have them, because we're at like 30% oil life, and they won't do an appointment until it's down to like 20% oil life because the way these cars run. So I need to make an appointment for sometime in April so that the oil's fresh for when we drive down to Texas in July.
Yeah.
So Well, it is about 8:30. I need to finish up getting my couple things ready to go because I still have to go to school today, which is kind of funny. So thank you, Sherry, for coming and hanging out with me this morning.
Well,
thank you for everyone who has been in the chat with us. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button because Sam and I have a ton of videos coming out. Currently, we are in the middle of our Disney trip. I think, let me see, check my channel listing coming up. Let's see. I think the next video, obviously there was a travel tip today because it was Thursday. Tomorrow is an awesome Fitness Friday video. You don't want to miss it. And Saturday is the long-awaited 5K video. So you'll be able to hear my thoughts on running a Disney 5K. So thank you everyone for hanging out with me. Thank you, Shari, for coming on. And I will see everyone in another video.